If you're flying and you fly over it, you measure straight.
Alright, we are
Flying and you
back.
land on it, you measure diagonal.
We are back. You should be able to hear Pat's big old voice coming through. Something different.
Has a cylinder to the top of his head. Just that volumetric current.
So if this guy, one of Terry's, this part is here and Archeon's here, and it's 1.5, one in trade weapons won't record. Yes or no?
Yes, no.
So I won't be able to tell you from the top of his head, and that's where I measure if the base is.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Done. Easy.
So what's the ruling in there?
You measure from the base here to the head of the unit down there.
Yeah, no, he's one.
Start trimming some heads off.
We know the answer, that's clear now, we know how it's going to work. Easy. That's fine.
Right, boys, happy with that?
Final game.
What do we got? An arcane in the corner. Jerk.
It all comes down to this. Australian Masters 2024. Let's just adjust our timer slightly.
He literally says, we do not want this in our event. There's a problem with the
Yeah, I got it. Thank you, Patrick.
I want to make it clear to say it has to be on the graph, not on the objectives.
So we're on. We are on, and we have 29 minutes, 3 hours and 29 minutes on the clock.
All my dice in trade, can't set this down, got to be flat.
They rolled for sides and drop shit.
Let the dice is on top, I'll reroll.
No, they're just going. They're going through. No, they're going through.
Each other's lists.
No, more like
Pre-measure.
Joel always plays that. If it doesn't land in the tray, he doesn't play it.
Agree. Rule zero stuff. Agree the etiquette of the game.
Yeah, he's also clarifying, measure for intent, stuff like that. So,
yeah. For anyone out there, if you haven't seen the pack, there's a few stuff in there around that, but it's always awesome to have a Rule Zero conversation around dice flat on the pitch or in the tray if you're using trays.
Joel's one priority and chosen to drop first, which means that he will get to play the way he likes and have control. It'll be on his terms. We're either going to we're looking at a really tight game or a whitewash.
A 1 into 2 double turn that just rolls over for. Does slow it down with taking damage from running here. Both armies have run and do shit.
Yeah, the Vanguard can absorb it a lot better though.
They can absorb it a lot better.
If Terrence loses is it D3 or D6 on a run?
D3.
D3. Man, it's probably not something you're going to factor in.
Yeah, he can.
With these two armies.
He can absorb it. He can absorb the output.
Chuck's back over here.
Does look where those two giant wildwoods are is definitely going to come into play with line of sight blocking and Terrence's number of shooting.
I wonder how much that's going to come into play with what Joel actually chooses to do, because I have a feeling he's just not going to factor it in, and just it's not going to play into his game plan. I think he's probably come into this with a certain game plan and a certain way he wants to play, and not much is going to change the way. I wouldn't be surprised if he's drawn up everyone's lists and figured out his setup for each list.
Probably, but the Wildwood's being in there both as line of sight blocking against the archers, and it's a large footprint, so you could fit like the 6 Vanguard on there for a cover save as well.
Yep.
Is an interesting angle to play with, I think. You definitely fit like things like your 10 Chaos Warriors or something in there to camp.
Yeah, absolutely.
Nice and safely against the shooting. And really the save stacking for Joel's army, it's already pretty tanky, and a bit of extra save stack helps helps even further with against the weight of dice that Terence is going to throw at him from the archers.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, Twisted Tree, it is the final round. The winner of this will be crowned as the Australian champion for the year.
So has Joel got a Masters win yet? No,
No, he hasn't.
Or did he? Has he had a win like a?
No, so COVID disrupted Masters. This is our 5th Masters.
Yeah.
Dave Kerr's won 3, Matt Terrell won 1. So Kerr's cemented himself as a legend of the sport with
Absolutely.
3 Masters.
Yeah.
Joel Graham's peak of his GT winning run was during the kind of end of the COVID years, where we missed a couple of Masters because of that. So he had a provisional interim Masters awarded for being top of the league, but didn't play an event due to the COVID. So, and then last year, the shock upset where Rat Boy Kieran knocked Joel out in round 1 of last year's Masters was a crazy shock upset. That was top seed versus bottom seed, and Kieran took him out. So this is Joel's got almost every achievement you can have in Warhammer Australia.
Except for
He's
this
been on
one.
Team Australia. He's represented the country out at Worlds. He's been to the individual World Championships for GW in America, and he's been to Team World Championships as Team Australia in Europe. He's won about 12 GTs overall in his career. He sits as the current ELO ranked top player of all time based on the ELO ranking system by actually a large margin. Pretty much this is the final thing for his trophy cabinet that he hasn't achieved.
That is exactly right. It's exactly what he's got left. What a list of things that you've achieved too.
Yeah. So he does this, it cements him as probably our second legend of the sport after Dave.
Yeah.
Probably an interesting thing. Where do you go from there when you've conquered the sport? You've won the majority of the events you want to win, and you've done all this stuff. What do you do from here?
Nasty rumour is that he might actually be having a bit of a
break.
Yeah, bit of a break after this. I don't know how accurate that is. But
Is it a little bit of and even for Kerr, just to spread some rumours and talk some gossip? As Kerr didn't come this year, he's already won it 3 times. He's also done all that exact same list of stuff. You cement you're Del Floyd Mayweather. You've cemented your legendship. Now out at the top, play casual from here on, and take a bit of pressure off yourself, and maybe go conquer a different game. I know Kerr's currently in the process of conquering 40k up in Brisbane. I think he's actually at a team's 40k event with most of Team Australia 40k.
Isn't that what Tom Oliver's doing here?
Yeah, cycling out of War Machine into a new game to conquer.
Yeah, but picking up a heap of painting awards on the way.
Yeah. I think that's.
I got 300 boys. You can't deal 300 damage before I win it.
It's probably something to that.
Absolutely.
So Joel's deploying really aggressively here, so that's giving a bit of a signal for what he's probably going to do. He has hidden the Vanguard behind the Wildwood line of sight blocking. We're obviously using flat Wildwoods here for practicality, but they are marked overgrown.
That's his deployment done as well.
And so he's hiding the Vanguard behind, and really those Wildwoods are quite a pain in the ass for Terence, just in the long edge, the short edge deployment as well. So it's signalling an aggressive intent by Joel, but he has got enough protection of his key pieces to.
Joel's just
if he does give it away,
finessing Archeon around to face the right direction for intimidation purposes.
Yeah.
Which I hear wins 50% of games.
Yeah,
intimidation.
There's definitely a narrative play there until the wings get in the way, and then you just stick him in buses.
He's been claiming it's a narrative list the whole
yeah.
whole of Masters and the lead up to Masters as well. What do
Lead
you
up
mean
to
it's
Masters.
narrative? Oh.
In the player chat, he's saying he's not playing for serious. Narrative list.
now
And
look where he
basically, for 15 minutes before the start of every game, he's whinging. He's already lost the game, and it's a
true.
shit matchup. And look where he is.
Pretty typical.
Yeah. No one listens to it anymore.
I think that is the narrative. I think that actually might be the narrative that he's talking about.
And I think Terence has had a bit of the same shit. He's just got a narrative list as well of 77 archers.
Well, you're not going to not bring that many, are you?
Yeah.
So that's Joel's whole army on the table there?
He's
He doesn't have the ability to play anything off, does he?
The Corvus Cabal are hiding off the table.
Right, yeah.
They could pop in later.
Yeah.
If they're in cover, they can't be shot at, which is
Okay.
they can't no visibility at all if they're in cover. So
That Wildwood there is in a perfect spot
Yeah,
for him to
Wildwood.
take 2 objectives, or contest 2 objectives with that unit, really.
potentially, if he wants to go like that, but
+1 to cast, can't be seen.
I think it really comes down to how Terence counter deploys here. If Terence deploys on the line, I could see the scenario of Joel going full send and just ripping through.
Yeah, I think
I think
Terence has got the
Terence
shields. He's got some meat shields there, which
He's
might
got
help.
a few screens, yeah.
But I feel like impact hits on the Vanguard will knock out a shield quite easy and allow him to pile in. Yep, I will provide the lists.
He's also got the Karkadrak Lord, which has a strike first. It can clear the screen. The Vanguard get their first 3-inch pile in behind it, and then their second activation can rip through. So if Terrence deploys aggressive, then that's an option for Joel. But I think Joel also, with this deployment, would be more than comfortable to give it away as well, and let Terrence take the first, and then go for a double. So he's deployed smart enough that he can play the game either way.
Yeah, so Archeon, big portion of the army here. What is that, 40%?
Yeah.
Yeah, 40% of the army in Archeon. We're looking at over 50% of the army in Heroes alone. And then that big unit of Vanguard, 27%, 26% of the army. Just in a unit of Vanguard, but they're really hard to kill. Really hard to kill.
It's everything. It's pretty much everything's objective and filler except Archeon and Vanguard. They're the ones that do the work. Everything else just scores objectives or fills the board up.
Yeah, that's right.
Those two are pretty tough. They need to survive. 77 archers though is 144 shots or 141
right.
shots or something. That's a lot of shooting and
2
therefore a lot
units
of
of
save rolls.
reinforce and 1 double reinforced of Blissbarb archers. The main thing with Terence is being able to get that 77 shots off more than 1 turn in a row.
Yeah.
That's the big thing, right? That's the one thing that's going to make all the difference.
How many of them are alive to get a second shot off?
Yeah, that's it. You can't shoot something when you're dead.
Yeah. And Joel knows how Be'lakor works. Like Archeon and the Vanguard hate Be'lakor.
This could be a massive play of Terence's, is to be able to, if he can properly utilise Be'lakor.
If Joel goes for a double turn and he gets nutted out a bit by Be'lakor, that can swing a lot. That's when you only take a list with 2 hammers, and one of them gets turned off, that can slow down your momentum seriously. Oh yes, we just had to point it out, the Crown of Dark Secrets is in play too, that can basically turn off either Archeon or Vanguard if they're nearby. So that said, the Crown of Dark Secrets is on a relatively squishy hero, so it's hard for him to be within the 3-inch range. He'll hide inside a unit of archers, is how Terence has been playing it in the previous games. It's sort of 2.9 behind the front line. So there's some good debuffs against these hammers.
That's a really good thing against that Vanguard, bringing their attack characteristic down to 1 for the whole game.
Though against the Vanguard, not quite as effective, because if the Vanguard get the charge, the attack characteristic goes to 1, and then they get +1 attack from the Khorne banner or the Khorne keyword anyway.
Okay, so
they're still on 2
2
attacks.
Yeah.
So it'll be an interesting choice. It's a tough choice. Do you debuff Archaon or do you debuff the Varangard?
So what are the Varanguards sitting on normally though? That's the thing, right?
They're normally
So-
on 3 attacks. They'll be
So
on
they-
4 on the charge.
So you basically
you're
you're
half
halving there. Yeah.
Where Archaon, if you turn Archaon off, you're taking about 80% of his output out.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true. It depends.
It's a difficult choice of which one you do.
Unfortunately, Terrence winning that priority role would have been great because he could have given Joel the first go and then had a time to react before he has to choose which unit is going to be suffering that.
Yeah.
And hope that you can absorb that first turn charge or whatever it is. So you can see here Terrence is setting up
A little
quite
bit
spread
further
out.
back.
And Joel is just ready to charge forward. I think we're either in for a very, very quick game or a very tight game.
Yeah, right now my money would be on Joel passing the turn control over to Terrence based on that deployment. Still got a few pieces to put down and finish up, but Joel loves getting his double turns and rolling through armies. And there's also sort of a win condition factor here. Like, allowing Terrence to get 2 turns in a row of shooting is just too much weight of dice.
Absolutely.
Out there. So you're sort of, how does Joel lose this game? Well, one way to lose it is Terrence getting lucky with a double turn and just shooting him off.
Absolutely.
But
Joel's not going to give him that chance, I don't think.
I don't think he's going to give.
No.
The bait would be if there was a lot of stuff on the front line to sort of bait Joel into an alpha.
It's game 1 in combat. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. This is why Terrence needs to ensure that he sets up well.
Yeah. Does he? How cagey is this? Does he try and put a little bit of bait out there to tempt Joel to take the gamble of a double turn and then hope that Joel misses his charges or something?
I'm not sure. We're seeing the screens go up now.
The screen's going up, so it doesn't look like he's playing a bait game.
He is playing the game where he doesn't want to be able to be holding to after the fact, I think, because you can see
very
those.
deep, good 6-inch behind there.
Yeah. And then I think what's going to happen is he will get given the first turn, and then all of the stuff is going to be able to play at the back. So, like I said, I reckon Joel has, with paper or models or empty bases, he's played this setup before behind the scenes, or he can just, Queen's Gambit, do the shit in his head while he's sleeping, look at the roof and figure out the moves before they happen.
Joel's always been a bit cagey on exactly what his pre-game play is. He's not much of a TTS guy. He never liked that format, and it just didn't gel with him. And
I'm
I
not
could
big on
sympathise with
TTS
that.
either.
I'm a bit similar, and so TTS doesn't really work for him. But there's a little bit of an active club scene here, but it's only once every couple of weeks sort of game. So how much does he sort of self-play or paper play, or
He's got to be
maps it
playing
out?
games with himself, surely.
Yeah.
Hey, how do you get better? You play against the best. What if you are the best? You play against
mirror
yourself.
match against yourself, yeah. And hey, he's no kids, unmarried. He's
All the time.
he is working, obviously, like most of us, but he's got a fair bit of time for his hobbies with his
The
lifestyle.
dream, right?
choice.
Well, maybe not the dream. Different
We all
dreams,
love
but
our families and kids.
yeah. I'd also love an extra 24 hours in every
Oh
day.
yeah,
wouldn't I?
Give me I don't know. Give me an extra 3 days a week where I'm not working.
Yeah, I'll take
To
it.
spread them all around. Something has to give.
Taking away all my toys. I was coming up with a secret sets the units attacks to 1. So when Corn charge, you get possible attacks. To stay at 1 or go to 2. So I'm thinking if the Corn one comes after.
Can we see how many in the live chat room as we go? Or?
Yeah, we can.
At the start of the game, so if I charge.
Well, as soon as you get within 6 is when it does it. I think you'd get the extra one.
Yeah, I genuinely don't know. I'm not sure.
So we've got currently 21 viewers, I think. So it's
14 at the moment.
14 live
Yeah.
and watching the deployment go. Listening to us
The
bullshit
sync
around.
lifestyle. That's right.
Yeah.
Some of them alter the risk.
Using up quite a lot of time here in the setup.
It's always good watching stream events just in the background in your hobby room while you're doing a hobby day.
Yeah, I agree.
It's good background.
I was saying to my partner earlier, like, streaming's good, But it was better last year when I was sitting at home having a beer.
You're listening to it and
Yeah,
watching
just
it rather
watching
than
it at
commentating
home.
it.
I had it up on the 70-inch TV, just sitting
yeah,
back
yeah.
watching it. I was like, oh, this is good fun. I'm enjoying this.
Yeah, Mick and Gemma put on a show last year.
They did.
and,
They did a good job.
Tristan was a roving commentator. I think that worked well.
Gemma was hitting me up halfway through, asking me for some tips on a couple of things here and there. And she's like, oh, how do we green screen? And I'm like, hey, I can tell you how. But I need to like come in, and so I hope that she's maybe catching a glimpse of this and the fact that
A bit jelly.
a little bit jealous and you're just right, a little bit of green screen thing going on here.
Yeah, Failed Charge have kind of had their had a bit of a dominant position on the quality of the YouTube, and I think Measured Gaming are trying to step up with some of their OBS usage.
Yeah, Joel's already hit me up for a bit of advice. I only know how to use it because I used to paint and stream painting on Twitch, so getting a grasp of the actual
Software.
the software is probably the hardest part. But once you've got that, it's easy.
There's lots of. I've recently got into it myself for other game system, and so for those out there, the software here is OBS. It's a free software for streaming, and it's a little bit not quite intuitive. You need to do a thing, but there's plenty of tutorials on YouTube to work out how it works, and it's once you've got a key grasp of it, it's quite easy to use.
If that makes sense.
And very powerful without that much work to set up. So the free software, it's pretty amazing. How many arches in there that are you painting?
How many bliss bars have you got?
Are
Bobby?
you copy and pasting Terence's list, or are you going for the more mixed arm style? Slanesh is a beautiful army, isn't it? Their models are just amazing.
A little bit more. Yeah, that's better. Just this.
Possible with this mission because we're playing on the end of the table. So.
Yeah, I hear.
Don't you worry about it.
I feel like what's going back over there.
You can't make it.
You should have ruled out all of the vertical deployment ones, just for the stream, so they're not having a fight with the thing. So.
Oh yeah, actually.
Yeah.
Well, the missions were determined complete random on a live stream into the player chat here, so it's Masters. There's you have to submit your list before missions are known, so
very
you
opaque.
can't tune for it, which means you can take some big gambles here. For example, if Frigid Zephyr come up for a shooting army, well, you're taking a 1 in 12 chance of being fucked. And then,
all right, you can get out, Jason. That's fine. You can leave.
Jason's a clubmate down in Geelong, and
No one likes him. Yeah, okay.
No, well, he's the nicest guy, and he has one key advantage is that we've got Nathan down there with his KO. So,
he's the bigger dick.
He's the bigger dick than Jason with his 77
like
bliss
that. That's
barbs.
fair.
So Jason gets to slipstream in behind.
It's like, he's a bit of an arsehole, but not as much of an arsehole as that KO player.
Just a friendly Slanesh guy versus that filthy KO guy.
Yeah. Less. It's a very different game for Terrence, not having to worry about movement shenanigans. You know where the damage is coming from.
It's coming straight up the front door.
In your face, that's where.
He measured his exact ranges behind that screen to know how it's going to work when
just to stop that piling.
Low on in.
All
right, well, we got Pat Never joining us for a rules query. Or
TO
something.
conference. Joel. Other Joel.
start there at 1, and then when you do your charging at hit max. I'll answer.
It'll be up to you. It'll be up to you.
It's up to you. That's how I play.
It's really up to you.
Cool.
Oh well, shit happens.
Spare, so I can maneuver around those stupid wildwoods, etc. Look, I think that's probably the best I can do.
You going first? You going first?
Yeah, cool. Supplies! I'll go forward because I made sure Bellacor's out of 30, void wizards, etc. I'll go for cast a spell and not be unbound. Cool. Magical dominance, is it called?
Dominate that super sexy hero face.
We'll be going on Mr. Archaon. Present for you. Cool. Heroic action.
I've just got a few things I've got to do, man. Start a battle round still.
Yeah. So,
Suboptimal focus, the Sword Lord, and Archeon's corner mark. Done.
back over to me. Any heroic actions or anything?
Oh, you've done
I'll
your
just-
primal dice?
Oh yeah, we'll do primal dice. Nah.
Yep.
Cool, we've got one each. Is that my primal dice? One each for primal dice. Crown of Dark Secrets. We'll grab one of these for my injury points. So I went first, so I get 1 plus 3 for my dude.
Yep.
So 4. Heroic action was just good CP, I don't care. Yeah, thank you.
Same as well. No. So I'm on 3, you're on 2. Well, you get bonus ones or something.
I get 3, yeah, so,
So
I'm
you're on
actually on
5.
5 now. So instead of 1 for the general, I get 3.
Yeah, I forgot to say that.
Yeah.
Super funky Pretenders Battalion.
Yep,
I
alright,
would have asked the Nations Worlds last year, so it's pretty much been a year for me.
we'll go for, so we're into casting now, we'll just go for our Arcane, well, not Arcane, a Mystic Shield. Stays off, my battle tactic. Just going to chuck it onto that big squad of archers in front of me.
Just quickly, Terrence, I just want to check with you.
Yeah.
Is Essel answering a rules question for me? If they rule that he doesn't get +1 attacks from each other, are you okay if I change his mark?
Oh, yeah,
Because that's why I've
yeah,
made it. That's why I've made it common, so I should have said that to you. I'm still waiting for them to answer the rules question. So there's no 0 point having corn mark if I can't get +1 when he charges.
Yeah, the clock's ticking down, it's a problem, so
So
what
just
do we do?
pause it because
Yeah,
we've been
yeah,
waiting.
we went
We've been
with
waiting 15 minutes for a rules
Yeah.
answer.
Can you get them to make a decision? Just if they have to roll the dice, just make it.
Yep. Is it going to affect what you do? Well, I'm going to change it to if it's not Cornish Lynette, so he can run and charge.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going to do.
It will change what I do now, yes.
Okay.
We're at the point of the game now where it matches apparently. It is critical at this point.
Get a definite for you.
I'm just going to sneak through, mate, while we're doing
Yeah,
nothing.
yeah.
That's how it is. That's how it works. But they need to go through a Warhammer community FAQ to like literally read it, so then they can make a call. And this is who it is.
All right, here it is, boys.
He's just gone to lose, so you'll have to wait.
All right.
Oh,
So, yes and no.
The description is incredible.
wait for John.
Yeah. So basically, I'm going to treat it like an aura buff.
Which means
If you move into it, it applies. But you will have successfully completed your charge afterwards. So you finish the charge.
All right, the stream's back. We just had a little bit of a conference around a rule clarification of complexity. We won't go into it at the moment. Pat the TO, very experienced player, is his job's to make the hard calls and the final calls. So he's in the process of communicating to the players what the rules are.
They go down to 1.
Is that it there?
Stop.
and then go on and get your +1. But say you're in combat.
Oh no, okay. So this here is add 1 to the attack's characteristic.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's a modifier of adding after a change.
No, so it's they add 1 to the attack's characteristics units if they made a charge move in the same turn. Okay, so they've made the charge move. Their attack characteristic has gone up to 4 because they made the charge, but they're within 6, so now it's 1.
I don't know what
Yeah,
that's
it's-
now
it's
ruled,
order
but
of-
we've
order
had- there's an order of activation complexity around Crown of Dark Secrets.
So I actually
charge
think it would
bonuses.
depend on whose turn it is as to whether or not you get the bonus.
The Pat gets paid the big bucks
Yeah.
to make these calls as an independent player here. So
So yeah, my essential ruling was that it's an aura debuff.
yep.
So it
the
applies
aura
when you move
component.
into the aura.
Yep.
And if you get buffed after you move into the aura, you can get the buff.
Yep.
But if you're buffed and the aura moves onto you, you get the debuff. You see what I mean?
The debuff hits. Okay.
See, I would have almost thought that it would be, depending on whose turn it is,
Yeah.
the activation changes.
Activation order. But you only get it when you charge, so
Correct.
if you counter
So
charge outside your turn,
Well, that doesn't
blah,
matter
blah, blah,
anyway.
blah, blah.
Yeah.
None of that ever matters at that point.
No. Yeah, so basically, like, it's always going to go off because you would go, all right, well, I've moved within 6. I'm going to choose for your activation of me going down to 1 characteristic first, and then I'm going to make myself +1 from the charge. But then in the other turn, you would obviously choose it to go the other way. So
If you've completed a successful charge, yeah.
and thank fuck 4th edition is coming because
Yeah,
this kind of shit,
watertight, yeah.
this
Yeah,
is
this is
getting
a-
ridiculous.
It's probably the wrong call. I don't know. They just needed something to be going on with.
As long as they're playing by the same rules, right? Like they could start playing chess, and as long as they can figure a winner out based on a game of chess with Warhammer models, they're
Both
all right.
being very smart players, they saw the issue, and before they started playing and became in contention and changing movement, changing decisions of charging, they've asked for a clarification on something that could potentially be argued in multiple different ways. And I'm sure the chat and anyone listening will probably have their own opinions of how to do it. But it's that's why a TO
I
at
mean,
any
you
event
just go for a
always
flat one attack, but
look, a TO at any event, including Masters, including Worlds, and your local hobby event, TO is God. The primary first rule source is always TO. After that, it's the rule book and the facts and all the rest of it.
Yeah.
And,
but it doesn't say it can't be modified. It says it goes down to 1.
Yeah.
If it said it goes down to 1 and can't be increased,
Yeah. And look, in here, we've got a lot of experienced players and TOs here. And Terrell had a different opinion. I had a different opinion. Pat had a different opinion. Tristan had a slightly variant of opinion, and that shows the rules
I'll
are
back
challenging.
Pat.
And Pat is 100%. He's TO, and he gets paid the big bucks to make the call.
He doesn't get paid.
Neither do I. So stop asking me to
most
do
of it
things.
does it say always treated. But
Anyway, we're moving on because we've made the call.
well, probably cost him the game. Oh, jeez. Feel terrible about that now.
You'll hear about that the whole for the next 3 years.
Well, the next 12 months at least.
So at the moment, Tristan is at Terrence is taking his first turn and Under move, or are they still in deployment?
Still deploying.
Still deploying. Okay. Looks like it's movement here. It's I think
Terrence's turn 1.
Terrence. So Joel's giving him the turn, and Terrence is now moving everything back. So going to play very cagey.
Yeah, the attack characteristic of that unit's melee weapons is 1. It doesn't say it can't be modified. It doesn't say it's always
You can
treated
still
as
modify,
1.
yeah. Well, but then the call rule fact says to change the characteristic because before any modifiers.
Yeah, that's more for fucking doubling and then...
No.
Adding one.
Adding,
But you are adding one here. It's exactly how the corner rule.
No, the difference is it's adding one to the characteristic, right? So basically, whatever the war scroll's got, scribble it out, put a different number there.
Yeah.
So when you charge, you change it to 2, but then if you're within 6, it gets changed back to 1. There's arguments both ways for it, right?
Yeah.
That you can say, well, it's been scribbled.
I would
to
say
1
because it's an aura effect, you get the buff after you charge.
once you're within 6.
So you go and you finish your move within 6, you change it down to 1, then you get the buff.
Yep. What battle tactic have we got turn 1? Run away? Is that a battle tactic? Run away is not a battle tactic, is it? Maybe it is.
Maybe he took spellcast. He had Be'lakor out the back, so probably spellcasting there, and then he's moved Be'lakor up now. But that would be my guess.
Someone, what battle tactic we got, team? Magic Dom. All right, and he's got it.
And Be'lakor cast.
Thank you, Joel. At least we got all the fun
So
stuff.
you go
out
now,
of it.
now that you've set up the stream kind of setup. Are you going to be doing some more battle reports?
Yeah, you get the nod from my missus, and and then we'll definitely do it. I might maybe at home. We'll see. I've got all the stuff at home. I got 4 or 5 tables worth of terrain. I only got 1 mat, but I also took a heap of those board toppers from Clint when he gave them away.
Oh, yep. Need to go get new objective markers with the new edition.
I'm just going to 3D print some stuff it. I'm not messing around. I'm going to 3D print some with my Ender. It's got a big enough bed, and then I'll chuck some little. They might chuck some little pointy bits in it so they don't slide around on the mats.
Yeah,
too.
just little 1mm, whatever.
Yeah, little 1mm feet kind of thing, and yeah, at least it's a 9-inch circle with a 3-inch in the middle of untakeable, right? So I wonder if they're going to go the way of 40k and make it so the 3-inch just you can actually land on.
I think it's. I thought I read somewhere it's a 40mm.
Sorry, 40
mil, and you can't stand on it.
40 mil you can't stand on with 3 inches around it. It's just under 9 inches.
Side to side, yeah.
Yeah.
So a bit smaller, a bit tighter. You will be able to swarm the objective with bodies and completely deny anyone getting onto them.
Yep. So it looks like Terrence is going for live another day because I don't know what else he meant to do in this situation, right? I think his plan is to expect a double out of Joel and then to just hinder one of his units with Be'lakor. I think that's the gameplay here, right?
Yeah, hope he wins. Be'lakor something down. Hope he wins the priority. Give it away.
2 into 3 even.
Yeah. Give it away to there and up, then flip it around and try and get it 2 into 3.
2 into 3 double with all of his shooting, if it can survive, would be massive.
Yeah. This could end up being, with the way Terry's setting up here, could end up quite cagey by the looks of it. With Be'lakor threatening the turn off, it becomes harder for Joel to send.
Yeah, that's what I was saying, Justin. They started that way with 40k and then realised that it was quite impractical. So I'll print some stuff out and see how it goes, and hopefully I don't have to spend a heap of money on some objectives again that are going to be irrelevant. Maybe one edition later when they realise, oh, you can't actually fit that many models on a 3-inch circle.
Yeah. I don't know. I like buying these accoutrements and a lot of hobby, different hobby stuff out there. Like PMTT's printed up some beautiful looking ones.
have.
They're good. The clear ones were pretty good, but they slip and slide around a bit.
Yeah, I
from
won't be
honest ball
going for
game.
clear ones again. That's for
I
sure.
reckon I'm going to go themed, thematic ones, and maybe get a couple of sets to go with my home terrain.
Yeah, I
themed
like
up.
that.
They do look pretty beautiful when you get the green magic ones on a grassy thing, or the red lava ones on a lava field.
I wonder if we're going to pay 30% less for our objective markers, considering they're going to be 30% smaller.
Yeah. If Henry's in the chat, what's your pricing strategy on your objective markers? I'm not quite sure that's how the cost base of it works.
I reckon it works exactly the same. 304.8 mil.
What was the D3 million?
In terms of area,
Yeah.
times pi r squared.
We're looking at over a 30. We're looking at over a third smaller for our objectives.
Yeah. That's a third less transport cost, third less weight on the
Third
shipping.
less product. I'm expecting objective markers to be markedly cheaper now.
Yeah.
I did see something concerning in one of the articles that they said that the spearhead was going to be half or a quarter of a board size, or half of a board size, and then they quoted some ridiculous number like 22.4 inches. Don't tell me that they're going to increase our boards by 0.8 of an inch, so all of our maths. There you go. New zones are looking about 25% cheaper.
Henry, thank you. It's
Craftsman War Game.
a free shout out to PMTT here, pmtt.com.au. I think the story is. Henry, chuck it in the chat if we got that wrong.
Yeah, you can chuck it in the chat.
And he's got good designs in the works. Quality product, Australian company, small business.
Same designs, 30% smaller.
30% smaller for 25% cheaper, so his
That's
profit
a
margin's
5%
gone up.
markup, baby!
Support small Australian business and hobby shops like
that's it.
PMTT. Runs great events, good bloke, and pretty quality product. He also had.
Look at this. We're pushing some bliss barbs up to do some wounds.
Well, while I'm pumping PMTT up, we got. He had these really quality score pads too. The Geelong Club bought absolutely heaps of them.
Tom Oliver's got a stack there.
Absolutely awesome, because there's nothing worse than scrap bits of paper or apps that get fucking done wrong and then disputes around stuff. So for all TOs out there, included in your cost base to give your players on, they're only a couple bucks each or something. They're pretty cheap, and
Got to make money to cover my tournament travel. I do 3D printing on like demand for people, and if they want minis, I'll print stuff out.
Yeah.
And it pretty much just covers the cost of me being able to 3D print my own shit.
And delivery cost for transport to the
and
event
then
to give it to them.
and fix the machine when I print too much stuff. So
Bobby's
bloke.
throwing some shade at Henry. Henry Masters will be asking for some sponsorship money next year because to help fund the event. Anyway, we'll throw some good shout-outs for now and hopefully get a few sales for you.
we'll have it, branded objective markers on stream.
Yeah. It's
It'd be absolute shills. Just shill for the...
totally chill. There is some
go.
challenges with funding the event. It is a
got
community-free organisation.
Bliss barbs in, 20.
They've moved up to shooting range and they're going to pop at something.
Doesn't have to be the closest one, does it?
Yeah, you go from nearest point to the bases.
There we go. Henry's committed in writing the sponsorship for next year. Awesome.
3, I don't know if you want to check that one, would be what I would say.
It's got to be a full 3 inches across, so right.
He's checking line of sight to be sure.
I would almost argue from this view, it looks like you could get all of them in, but
You could draw a straight line on the screen with
know
your mods and double check the straight line.
this is a great point. If I can see my thing,
Don't need to worry about bendy rulers. There we go.
can I move that though? That's the question.
So just tell me the stats.
There we go.
That's okay.
So what's he shooting? Depends what he's shooting at.
So,
That one's blocked. Oh, okay, and you can see okay on anyway. So
but we actually want to grab this bit here. We want to move that.
there we go. Does that cover? Yeah, that's.
Oh,
It touches it, but it's
closest model, right?
closest point of the model. The closest point of the model.
Closest point of the model. See, that does change things a little bit. But whether or not it's going to go over 3 inches,
Looks pretty
3 inches of that. Hard to say. We're only watching from here too, though, right? So
But it looks like they've agreed pretty clearly whatever's happened.
yeah, that's fine.
Rolling dice.
Terrence might not want to have that argument either this early on in the match.
What is that unit in there? It looks like some
think that's a
unmade.
unit of 10. Yeah.
That's our unit of unmade. Unmade are pretty cool. Joel's about the only player that runs them. A lot of other players run different war bands, but they turn off redeploy.
They might be. Is that a 9 or a 10 Warriors, maybe?
Nah, the Warriors are got the red
These
cloaks
guys
at
down
the
the
bottom.
bottom there. Yeah.
No, they're the unmade. Turning off redeploy for Vanguard. Redeploy sucks. If someone hits a 6 on the redeploys, the Vanguard trying to catch on.
Yeah.
Then there, but looks like no problem because that appears that unmade
what,
have been unmade by a bunch of arrows.
Have been unmade. A 6-up save. What choice do they have?
They
80 points? I don't know if that was a good investment of 80 points.
against combat armies only that are then ducking and dodging away, or you could use them as a
He might be
screen.
going with the game plan of you can only hold so many objectives if you've only got your Vanguard and Archeon.
Yeah.
What can you actually hold? Like,
It's not a bad thing. Not
Could
a bad
be it.
idea. And here, there's probably a bit of bait here. He's pushed 20 archers forward into death range. As soon as Vanguard and Archeon touch them, they're gone. But everything else is behind, so it might be willing to trade and see if the trade's a positive trade. 80 points unmade as a trade is.
I would have done it if they were.
There we go.
for all the
Henry's
chaos.
PMTT seems to also be getting on the team's bandwagon.
Actually, we drove that with a 36 casting last night.
We'll chat about that in a moment. The team seems really growing. So
It is, isn't it?
Joel started with Enthrall to Chaos.
Yep.
Remind us of what that does, Jesse.
So no enemy units within range
Of an
within
objective.
12 of the objective. Yeah.
So he's picked that unit of archers and he's going to disintegrate them.
yeah.
Yeah.
Something weird's happened here.
So,
Dark Master on
have we got anything from the table? Mate versus mate. Oh, State of Origin, Henry. We've been chatting about that a little bit in a few different chat groups. So we'll chat some teams in a minute. We sort out here. I wonder, has Be'lakor been activated from the table?
No, we've
Alrighty, do some casting.
fonts. Something's broken on our stream, but that's okay. Only fonts.
We got to get a table update.
You've only got 2 casts with him, don't you? So Be'lakor. So on a 5, I'll add one of my primals. Let's go.
He'll try and cast +1 to hit and wound.
We're not sure if Bellacor's been used or not here. It's the players are very intense and focused and in the zone.
Yeah.
We've put up a barrier around the table to stop the riffraff from watching these masters at play. But
So that would have been a 4-point score to Terrence on that first turn, I would imagine. 1, 2, and battle tactic.
yeah,
Happy days, right on the movement phase.
I'll give Arcane a roll.
I think
Okay, so Archeon-
Terrence uses those sticks, so I'm pretty
Archeon
sure
has been
Be'lakor.
Be'lakor.
There we go. So he picked Archeon instead of the Vanguard. So that's pretty much leaves to get the battle tactic. He's going to have to send the Vanguard forward, and then it'll be a
And he was allowed to make his move. So
whoop. That's
Yeah,
pretty.
Archeon.
That's pretty huge because that's
he's
that's
still got
huge.
he's still got to be able to roll his charge and his combat though. So
But even if he doesn't really need to charge, because the Vanguard could charge and wipe that, and it's just allowed him to push Archeon up the table. So if he gets the double turn, he's then smashing into the castle at the back.
very true.
If Archeon was stuck at the back, he wouldn't have an effective double turn. That said, he needs to pass Be'lakor again if he stays double turned. If he takes a double turn, and And I've always struggled with Bellicor.
Yeah.
Dark Prince, he always betrays me every time I take him.
I don't know.
Ones and twos every time on the key Death Stars.
Yeah, it's a hard one. I've played against him and he's shot down a 24 squig herb when I've played against him. But I was just like, whatever. I got 15 other units here. Like, you can shut down one, but it's not going to do much.
You know, you're not playing the Death Star style, 800 points in a single unit that gets turned off.
I get a bit scared when I've got more than like 300 points in a unit. Even in a hero, I just feel like
Too much investment.
Yeah, the egg basket is getting heavy.
Yeah. So, while they saw that out, we'll go back to the team's culture and the team's event culture that's building in Australia. It looks like Henry's declared that he's going to be running a teams event with some kind of state of origin type thing embedded in, which would be pretty awesome. We were talking about a very similar thing in the car ride down in my carpool. We'll admit the
You got a pool inside your car.
yeah, the carpool model, and then we so really great idea. I think the time's right. We obviously had Blood Right last weekend in Sydney, and from all reports that was a success.
Pretty good, yeah.
Runax has just gone from strength to strength, and I think the last 2 years has both sold out within like 60 seconds.
Yeah, it'd be pretty good to be able to go to Runax once, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it'd be good. If you're listening, Gabe, maybe reserve a couple of tickets for people outside of Queensland so that we can actually book flights and get
that's
it. But, no bias there at all.
I'll ask for favouritism. I'm happy to ask.
Hey, I asked for it last year.
I'll
He
even help you
wouldn't
set
give
up
it.
the stream if you want. I'm not doing it because I want to play, but I hope you set it up.
He's a man of full integrity. I offered all sorts of bribery last year and asked for favouritism and couldn't pull it. He was all no, only complete fair.
Man in Warhammer and also the most politically correct.
Yep, he does not play favouritisms with anyone. But, and if Henry starts another team event, we've also got Bendigo. They're building their Fatal 4 play, has been building for, I think it was last year, was the first one, and they're running it again this year. So that brings two team events in Queensland with Henry's new one.
Got a few in
one in Sydney and now one
Bendigo
in
boys run a couple a year, I think.
Yeah, I think
one
one teams. Yeah, one serious teams and one I think just like local mess around kind of one. We need to work out how we score a more persistent long-term league around them all.
Back of his base, I can go.
Yeah, and then we've got to get the New Zealanders as well. Like there's a Trans-Tasman Cup trophy floating around whenever the New Zealand crew head over. We pull a team together.
Now COVID's calmed down again, maybe.
Yeah, we got it back off them. They won it 4 in a row and we finally won it at last year's CanCon. Back on the table. So Vanguard and... Ooh. Okay,
Who's going first? I reckon that this single guy down here is going to absorb some
heat.
Absorb some heat from the... I think this guy's going to take the shots,
Take
right?
the pain.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
Surely you charge him in first.
Wonder if he's got a few buffs around him. Wonder if he's got a Mystic Shield or a Finest Arrow or something to help him take the hit. Oh, the redeploy's on, obviously.
Yeah, he must have rolled a 4 for a redeploy.
Makes it a bit harder for the battle tactic. Just shuffling back.
Yeah.
Best way to always this, you check what you use beforehand, roll the dice, and then you know it is. Whatever it is beforehand, plus the dice roll is the distance. And then you don't have to, you can do exactly what Terry's doing there, just shuffle them all back. Yeah. Joel's got a couple of chances. If the Karklor gets in there, he probably doesn't lift all 20.
Yeah.
But the Vanguard will for sure.
So, 7-inch shots.
From my general.
Joel, for the first time in 2 games, remembered to move his Chaos Sorcerer Lord. He last game he just kept forgetting about the damn thing and didn't keep it in buff range to cast useful spells. So managed to pull it out in the end, but as it was running away in terror from some Chaos Spawn or some Beast of Chaos Spawn.
It's just failed failed Bellacore on Archeon's charge.
Oh, he'd be out of range to get in.
No charges, I think. Oh no, he must have got the charge. I don't know what that number is. The white dice don't play well on the red background. A big charge by the looks of that.
He's staying within Archeon 12 range.
Yep.
I believe that will be probably for the 3d6 charge spell.
Oh my god, look at that. I'm gonna charge the coffee track. Yep. Sure you guys loving my Taylor Swift tunes over here? Hi, stream.
I haven't seen Terrence do an Unleash Hell once yet. I've only seen it once.
Yeah, interesting. He doesn't seem to have unleashed hell there. It's not like he's short of command points. He's got about 1 million of them in this army.
I don't know why he wouldn't have Unleashed Hell there.
Yeah, I think I did the numbers pre-event that an Unleashed Hell kills at least one Baron Guard and probably two, depending on Mystic Shields and what have you. Double checking to make sure he stays in the buff range there.
The interesting thing here is Joel did say movement a bit loosey-goosey, right? He has then rolled another charge and now he's shuffling his models around again. So I think if you're going to say things like that, you really need to be certain that you're not going to go and do stuff like that as well. So I think, once you've rolled your next roll for a charge and you see that something's failed, you can't then go and nudge models around again.
Yeah.
Normally, we haven't seen anything like that so far, but he did make the call. It was a bit loosey-goosey, so...
Good point from the chat room. He redeployed, can't do
Yep.
the thing. I suppose he was trying to deny the battle tactic there.
I'll take D3.
Isn't redeploy in the movement phase, though?
Yeah, but...
in the charge phase?
Yeah, you still can't, you can't do Unleash Hell if you have redeployed.
Okay.
That got fact pretty early.
Not a Masters player. James Anderson's over there laughing at me. He is a Masters player. He has the right to laugh.
And that's 20 Bliss Barbs taken off the table.
Yep.
Nick's
Thank you,
added
Captain
in.
Obvious. I already got corrected. Nick, you dick.
Points per roll.
Oh, good thing in the chat room there. The WA crew are in the chat and they're keen to come across with some State of Origin action in teams.
Interesting.
Oh,
Very interesting.
So you're going to be in New South Wales or Queensland?
well.
Or we might be a
depends
full
on time.
State of Origin.
I'll probably be in Darwin at that time with my my big lap, but maybe I should hook up with some of the WA guys while I go down that side of the coast in the caravan and maybe borrow an army or something. Meet a few of the guys. I don't speak WA though. So I only speak Australian.
You just fill your mouth with sand and then you talk? Yeah, it's basically the same. It's just with a mouthful of sand.
Got it. And a pocket full of gold.
Or oil.
Or gas, or palladium, or copper, or nickel. Or
You need the pocket full of gold so you can buy a house over
fuck
there.
it out. Or you need a pocket full of gold to buy coffee over there. It's,
He's got a cigar on himself, mate. He's got a that's in the hero phase, so I can't do it just yet, but it will go on himself. Yeah. You're cool with that? Yeah. Alrighty, so I finished my start of hero phase, heroic action battle tactic.
Joel's just taking the double.
oh.
I think we had a best day ever.
Here come the Baron Guard.
Yep. For my heroic action, battle tactic.
The Joel will be up one with that as well. He had more objectives. Stole that back.
He would have had 4 objectives held. And he would have also got max score.
Getting the double turn is exactly what he wanted for those
Yeah,
Baron
this
Guard
is-
to come slamming in, and those Baron Guard are definitely going to need an Unleash Shell this time.
Yeah. He might be better off doing a redeploy with the Seekers would be my suggestion.
Almost maybe push the Seekers forward.
100% push them into range.
I don't know what the distance is there.
The
but
problem
it's
is
the
he will move within 3 of the Seekers and give them no room to
give no
move.
room.
That's the problem.
Yeah, particularly with the
Yeah,
run.
Dark Master's been used, Jacob. It was used on Archeon. It's currently still on Archeon. It has just had 0 effect so far, except for the hero phase. I think I missed the battle tactic again as well. It's typical. I know.
Still deciding.
I think so. Let's have to listen.
Measuring stuff.
And some measuring.
There is a charge with 3 unit tactics, so he might be measuring what his risk of that is.
Yeah. I mean, he could quite easily get led into the maelstrom.
There's a few different options.
Intimidate.
Intimidate evaders, okay. So he's going to auto run those Chaos Warriors forward.
I'll just give my lot of pain to finest man.
So it would appear Terrence would be a little bit on the back foot now with those Vanguard about to slam into his block.
Yep, and they're going to take out a large portion. So where is his hero? Terrence's hero is in that big block,
Right, right in the middle of that castle with a thing.
Must be in here somewhere.
Alrighty. Let's go, baby.
What's 6 inches from that? Probably nearly to there, right?
Did he end up Crown of Dark Secrets in the Vanguard or Archaon based on Pat's ruling?
Oh yeah, that's a great
Which
question.
unit did he end up doing it on?
So just one cast then.
If it wasn't the Vanguard, I'm going to say I called it, that he should have put it on the Vanguard.
Not sure. It does reduce their output, but there's not much else that Joel can kind of do. The game's a bit on rails here.
Cool. Easy. Put the 6 up forward on yourself. There's nothing else to activate.
Pulling out the math hammer. What do you got? He's still got
Straight
50
into
archers.
movements.
Kakadrak.
50 to...
Going 11.
Here we go. He's gonna try to absorb the
Some mortal wounds.
Unleash her. Or at
unleash
least,
shell with the Karkadrak.
at least one of them. Because you can do it again. But hopefully if the Kark lives, it stuffs it.
So I think the issue might be is that there's the Karkadrak can actually tie up two of the units.
Tie him up with 3 inches.
Yeah, with the 3
The
inches.
danger is there a redeploy here on the Seekers to come forward?
He definitely should have done that. Definitely should have moved the Seekers in. That was prime time for a redeploy. Yeah. Prime time for a redeploy. Definitely missed his
We
opportunity.
probably need to be a bit quiet here so I don't give
I
away
think if
accidental
Joel was
tactical.
moving a bit slower, Terrence might have come to that conclusion. But Joel is playing very fast.
Putting a bit of pressure on due to
I think
speed.
so. I think, and this is part of the way he plays. He plays very aggressive, very fast.
Yeah. You do have the right in Masters under the clock rules. You can ask for the game to be paused at any point, and it goes on your time.
Yep.
And if it's on your time, the other player basically has to just stop.
Yeah.
And you've burned your time at that point.
Yeah. So I wonder if he's.
Looks
I wonder
like
if they're
it
playing-
must be some sort of auto run. That is a huge movement. Must be an auto run down to there. To pin it all in.
Is there enough room there to redeploy the Seekers around? I think they're
Very effectively.
no. And admittedly, the camera is cutting off a bit of the board edge here.
It feels like those Seekers should have deployed off the Kark Lord.
They definitely should have, but I wouldn't have
locked it
predicted
up.
him to go around that way
I
either.
didn't think he would have had enough space, but obviously with an auto 6 or something, he must have triggered. But yeah, that was a slightly risky move by Joel to go on the Kark Lord first. But it's all working for him.
Yeah, I think not redeploying the Seekers was a massive misstep.
And that will be battle tactic there.
No, I didn't get this. I'm
Ooh.
Oh, he's got a charge. He can charge Bellacore.
Maybe. We probably need to be quiet here. We're relatively close to the player, so we don't want to give away any accidental thoughts.
Very echoey in here. You're like a box.
We definitely have one.
I actually think a better way to do it would be to put the main table inside the broom cupboard over there, or into a separate
isolation.
room. Yeah, and isolate them properly.
I want to land all on that spike there.
Yeah, well, that'll be up to next year's venue and how it's all set up. Really.
Absolutely.
They're invisible.
Oh, and
Fly me out. I'll bring my streaming stuff. It'll be fine.
Yep. Maybe we'll go do it in Antarctica. Tristan's now on the committee, so I'm sure his vote will be Antarctica.
Go to a last turn. Absolutely. We're going to absorb that unleash shell. Let's go.
Carcadrak.
9.
9 on a Carcadrak. Well and truly in.
Slam straight in.
So what's going to be with
Whether or not he wants to lose the Carcadrak, right?
Yeah, that's a tactical consideration there.
What are these guys like in combat?
3 attacks each, 3 is 4s, no rend damage.
Yeah. And you've got 0 in front of you right now, yeah?
Correct.
Yeah, cool. So there won't be any 6s to Morty shenanigans for a while yet.
Just coming straight in the guts.
Yeah.
No guts, no glory.
But
Wonder
it's-
if there's is that a finest hour buff there, that green token at all, or something like that?
sure.
Would have been a good play this turn to use it. Try and absorb this hit.
Is there a way I can make him live better and do this? Be a bit more careful with this. I think we'll put it like we need to get within 3 of that unit. So, but that's where the break is there, right?
Yeah, the break's just there.
Oh, so I'll definitely be pulling this far unit.
100%.
Yeah, not much issue. Cool.
So we've got a break in the unit about here-ish.
Okay, gonna get what we
About there is the break.
ends up being it.
You'll pull everyone in.
Yeah, so
Measuring
he's
how
brought
many
everyone in.
Yeah. You're within 3 and he's trying to minimise number within 6 to take the hit.
Yeah. Well, unless I kill you really well, which I doubt. So basically, all of these guys will unleash hell first. So they got +1 hit and win from him being on the objective. So 16 shots, 3s and 3s. And if one of these goes through, you take -1 save.
16 shots against the Carcadrak.
So he's taken 16 bliss barbs, or is it the 16 shots from the Seekers first?
It might be the Seekers.
Seekers going first, and then
It's an inch though, so it's not going to.
Justin put in the chat that maybe Seekers go first, chip it down, get the -1, and then he can use the second unit of archers to get rid of the car. So he can then use the third unit of archers to shoot the Varangard on the way in.
Yeah, it's the beauty of being able to do the same command more than once, right?
Oh yeah.
Cool, takes 2.
Kark's pretty hard to take down. 9 wounds, 3 up, and if that is a finest hour, I can't quite tell, but very difficult to chip.
Yeah, so the unit of Seekers haven't done much.
Didn't get 1 through.
Got 2 through.
Got 2 through. Well, that's still -1 to the save roll, so
So this squad will unleash hell. How many wins you got left?
4 left.
So
Good to go a bit. You're a bit.
do you want to give me a hand here?
Maybe you just. Tristan, you want to do this real quick? Or either of you just. Just see how
Just
many
need to know
ones.
how many of this squad are within 6 of him.
counting the number of models in play.
Unleash
Squad
him.
here, just 6 of them.
One of them's the movement traits. How many within 6?
So we are.
Getting the TOs involved.
Yeah, that friggin' ice field. 3 mortal wounds. Was
Yeah.
like a bit of a
So the
distance.
Carcadrak took 3 mortal wounds earlier from the ice fields.
Oh,
Yeah, so he's actually down to 3 minus the 2, so he's down to 4 wounds left.
4 wounds left.
So Terrence is
with
trying.
effectively Ren 2 shooting. Oh, this is going to be tight. The maths say that it dies here, but
100%. So 29 shots into it. 3s and 3s, 2 rend. I don't see the Carcadrak surviving this.
Carcadrak needs to spike his saves.
Yeah,
Is he finest Howard? Hard to tell.
I'm not sure.
Carcadrak is finest Howard.
Yeah.
Confirmation. So
3s and 3s. How many wins you got left?
I can't see this surviving, can you?
nah, I think it's down, but
Yeah, 4 wins left. 3s and
lead
3s.
turning his graded ice fields.
Out of 30. It's looking at 10, between 10 and...
Yeah, it should overkill him by about double.
That's made up for it.
14.
14 saves.
14 4-ups. It's got to save 60% of them to survive.
Or more than that. But more than
Dead. Well and truly.
okay.
Got him.
That was the right play, but
This is not what Joel wanted, I don't think.
you know what? You got the big blob of.
What did you say you worked it out to be? An unleashed shell they can knock?
They'll only
one?
knock maybe 2 out. They're not going to knock more than 3.
Also depends on the way in which he charges, right? So if
Yeah,
he charges along, away from the unit.
Well, this comes to some cagey sort of top play stuff here, in that you just put one guy in there and then have everything else back a bit. You minimise the number of things in. He's obviously trying to work out exactly how he gets within half inch to minimise it.
Yeah, minimise the amount that are actually getting in. Absolutely.
There's going to be a lot. It looks like this is the big blob.
This is really annoying to measure.
It does, but because they're both end of turn, I can choose to trigger that.
Oh,
Yeah, that's true.
okay.
That's very true. That's a great point.
Yeah, well, it looks
I
like
wonder if
there's-
that's even been factored in yet.
if he's thought about it fully. Because he, well, ultimately, it may not matter if the Varangard get in and rip all this to pieces. It might be worth dropping the BT. Where's the sorcerer? The sorcerer did not move.
I think with our fisheye lens, the measurements here aren't exactly right.
Quite right.
Nah, but
But it does look like those Chaos Warriors are definitely not in the halfway line. They're strung back a bit there.
so what are we going for? Not max in or? I see what he's doing here. He only has to get one of them within half an inch, and the other one's can sit 3 inches back.
Yeah, so he's putting one right on the corner, and then he'll pile in for the rest of them.
Why is this fucking rule in the game so stupid? Fuck's sake. Why are you making me do this, Terry?
Now it's got a battery. Jesse's gone off to check out how the underdogs are going. There's a slightly janky mechanic for how the podium's determined here. The 2 of the podium slots get given to the winner and loser of the top table, but the 3rd podium slot goes to the highest of the 3 ones. So the guys that are on 2-1 at the moment are still playing off to determine who gets the 3rd podium slot. There's a few contentions around and alternative models out there that a bit of open debate around should it be a more classic direct knockout system. The current system provides for someone to lose in round 1 and still be in for a shot at a podium. But there are alternative models that will be debated for next year, maybe a more classic knockout system. But, any update from those other tables, Jesse? Or?
Matt Tyrrell looks like he's playing for Sheep Station, so that's about it. Very
Tyrrell
serious.
doesn't know how not to.
Yeah, that's it. Very serious look on his face. Looks like he's holding his drink bottle and the weight of the world on his shoulders.
I'll figure something out.
I'd never thought we'd see a game of Warhammer where the TOs are playing more than the players, but apparently this is the game.
I'm fucking happy with it.
My vision's going blurry and shit. Like you got
Incredibly precise, because even just a couple of arches difference could be difference between another Varangard alive or dead.
16 out, 17 in.
That's the call.
17 in.
Let's pull out the good old math hammer. 16 in or 17 in?
34 attacks total, 3s and 3s.
34 by...
Go down to 20, down to
416
14
by
again. Probably about 14.
6. That's 15, and then the maths. Did he get a Mystic Shield up on the Vanguard, or was
I
that
don't know. I'm
Belcourt out?
Not
So let's
paying that much
assume you
attention for me.
don't have the Mystic Shield. If he didn't get the Mystic Shield, he only kills one Vanguard. If he's got the Mystic Shield, he may not even kill a Vanguard. So 5 Vanguard. The crown holder. We're not even quite sure whether the crown got applied to Varangard or Archaon.
Yeah.
Probably a good guess it got applied to the Varangard and then Belcourt to Archaon. But
That's what I'm thinking. Do you know where the crown went?
did the crown get applied to the Varangard? He chose Archaon. When?
Sure, we're not sure.
Yeah. So there's we're not quite sure what the crown applies to, Justin. We don't want to interrupt the players with a check, but
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 damage. So 1 dies, 1
but you are dead right, Justin. If the crown's in play,
One gone.
one gone.
Predicted.
Math hammer sometimes actually works.
Also 1 less wound.
Yeah, because you get a 6.
Yeah, cool. Where did I put that combat? One who's got 3. Potato. Cool.
Overkill by 3 points. 3 wounds.
Okay. Math said it was 7.1, 7.555, which is 8 on a roundup, which is exactly what happened.
Yeah, nice. It's almost
So
like dice is a math game.
Yeah.
Statistically,
If you roll enough dice, you end up with the average.
who would have thunk it?
So you waste 10 minutes rolling the dice, you could have just used a calculator.
So what are we?
And he got
looking
his Chaos Warriors in for a charge into Belcourt, so that solves the Intimidated Vader's problem.
at? Unless these guys die.
Unless something dies.
Because what do we got? 1,
You've got the Corvus Cabal hiding up on
Two,
the top there.
3.
3, and you've got Chaos Sorcerer Lord and Archaon.
2. So if this unit dies,
Yeah, Belcourt can't kill Chaos Warriors of Nurgle.
not with that attitude,
It's,
not with that outlook.
look, I'm obviously not a Belcourt's biggest fanboy here.
Well, I don't think either.
He's always failed for me. He hits like a wet fish. He's
I sincerely hope they change his special rule in the next edition.
what would you prefer to see it, Pat?
I prefer to see him fucking hoisted into oblivion.
Yeah,
Just yeeting.
throw me back to the old world.
He's been a basic bitch of the Chaos Grand Allegiance for 6 years now.
Tell us what you really think.
No, it's just like a fucking
He is a
chair
bit,
filler at the Oscars.
The under,
I'll throw in a belt. I mean, he serves a purpose. He defends you against a double turn. He's very utilitarian.
but he's basically
He's a
Starscream.
basic bitch. He's just,
He's the Starscream
Scream
to
of fucking-
Archaon's fucking Megatron, and
You're 300.
and everyone hates
yeah.
fucking Starscream, the little
No,
conniving
I
bitch.
like Starscream. Hard done by.
So Bellicor's got potential 20 to do 22 wounds.
Oh, fucking if he does 4, I'll be amazed.
if he kills 2 of these Nurgle Chaos
Nancy's
Warriors,
over here.
He's actually not bad in Slaves to Darkness when he gets his proper buffs, but you rarely see him in Slaves to Darkness.
Yeah, because he's not a good choice in
The best thing about Bellicor is he's got this super tail attack that does 2 damage. It's like hits on 2s, wounds on 2s, leg 3 rend and 2 damage. He's a fucking chump. The Dark Masturbator. Like they went through that whole fucking.
if that was a